She's at a place in her life where peace is a priority and negativity cannot exist. She's no longer matching energy. She's simply removing herself from any situation that doesn't vibrate her soul. So if you start moving funny, she's moving on.
What's up, my Fina love? Sisters Fina D coming to you all from Fina Team News.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
So after complaining that Sheree did not want to chip in for the surprise party for Kenya Moore and Miserable Malo, Drew took to Twitter during the episode and she wrote, "The moment I realized I wasn't getting my money." Sheree responded, "Girl, stop. You were paid $1K to do the small get-together and anything over is on you. Hashtag I'm not buying friendships. Hashtag RHOA." Sheree then posted receipts. The mat in matting plus why the bleep do we need $700 balloons and a heater inside? B-word, your heat don't work. And here's a closer look of the invoice. This is a screenshot from the after show. There are two more lines that I wasn't able to get a screenshot of in here, but what Sheree mentioned in her tweet is in this screenshot. So that's all that matters. The $700 belongs. So Drew responded, "So you wanted a cheap party like your cheap joggers? Girl, bye." Sheree responded, "Just like them cheap bleep wigs you were wearing last season? Hashtag respect the OG." The thing about Sheree clapbacks is that she's always reading herself in the process because, girl, we know that you've had some questionable wigs moment. And so Drew clapped back with exactly what I'm saying. I'ma just sit this right here and posted all of Sheree questionable wigs moments. And then Sheree responded, "Bad hair days and bad wigs are two totally different things. I don't wear cheap wigs." Girl, I don't know. That Mama Joy's wig and the other ones. Get your money back, child. And one thing about social media, they will always join into the fun, child, with these hilarious responses. Basically tweeting that Drew is eating Sheree up at this point. So remember, Sheree ended with the whole cheap wigs dig. Drew did have some questionable hairstyles last season. I mean, her nickname is Drew Wicksha, okay, the bird's nets, all of those different things. So we're not going to sit here in front. Drew went through what some of them go through their first season. She was able to watch her first season back and then say, okay, these are the things I need to do differently. The wigs conversation continued. Nothing cheap about, she mentioned the hair company that she uses. Now, you are just a cheap bleep hater. That's what she meant. You are. Okay. Sheree responded, "Girl, you know that hair from last season was not, Can't remember them horrible wigs she had on." Sheree, this is the wig you had on this season. Girl, exhausting, the both of you. So after Sheree's last response, Drew responded, "How you know? You weren't even there." Girl, the world knows when I came back, I didn't know who you were, but was told that you had cheap bleep wigs, bad makeup, and wore fake clothes. I'm glad you're able to rent real designer pieces now. These two right here. And this is where Sheree decided to read herself again as if she wasn't left sitting in the cold. Here she goes, bringing up Drew marital issues again. So Drew responded that she's happy that, everyone is getting to see her glow up, but don't forget I'm not the cheap one here. And then here comes Sheree. I'm glad the working gave you attention since you aren't receiving it at home. Drew responded, "That's not my issue, but at least I have a husband." And here goes Sheree again reading herself. If you've been rocking with me for a while, then you already know how I feel about this whole my husband. At least I have a husband. At least I have a man. You know how I feel about this. All of the videos are still there of me talking about how you are more than enough. You are worthy with or without a man. So I'm not going to waste too much time on this. What I am saying though is that Drew is justified in this moment because she kept it about hair and the money and the party. Nowhere did she get personal when it comes to relationships and all of that. Sheree is the one that went down that road. So Drew is justified in this clapback. Now, if she just brought that up randomly, then absolutely. Like Sanya did at the party. I got a husband. You wish you had a husband like mine towards Kenya. And it's like, girl, sit down. We don't care. Drew is simply clapping back because Sheree brought her marriage and her husband into this when Sheree have absolutely no room to talk about any one man or relationship when every single man she's brought on this show has embarrassed the out of her. And now she's running around with a walking red flag who's embarrassing his ex-wife, and you are next on that list, Sheree. But you're so desperate for money that you would do anything for $1, so you're parading him around in hopes the Real Housewives of Atlanta or Love and Marriage Huntsville pick you up and give you a check. So you have no room to come for any one relationship when you were sitting in the cold being dogged out by a man in a halfway house. He's out now. You knew he wasn't going to show up. You showed up anyways because that's your storyline and you would do anything for $1. So you have no room. I'm aware that it's been on the screen and most of you probably already read it, but I have to say these words out loud. Sheree talking about degrades you, make you look stupid, makes you look weak, and disappears on you. Huh? Really? These are your words? My goodness. That's why I used the word delusional so many times in one of my other videos that I had to leave a comment apologizing for using it too much. So Drew responded, "You have been really invested into my husband all season, but you need to worry about your new storyline, #fake Martell Holt TV personality." So even in this response, Drew could have gone really below the belt, okay? Because she saw Sheree fake crying. She could have used Tyron, but she chose to go with Martell. But then when she realized, you know what? This woman continues to cut and cut. I'm going to go there. She then retweeted things that her supporters tweeted with Tyron in it. Sheree, you got yourself caught up with this one because, baby, does Tyron Philly spark up some memory? Exactly. Is this the same woman that had to fight years for child support and alimony and still didn't get no money, that got played by a dude making collect calls? And let's not even talk about that fake doctor dude. Oh, yeah. I forgot all about him. Oh, wow. Yeah, Sheree, you ain't got no room to talk about Drew and her issues with her man and her husband. Child, hot mess. Hot mess. Laughing my bleep off, she done forgot about this like she forgot about getting she by Sheree together. This person just confirmed exactly what I said earlier. Drew could have talked about Tyron, but she saw how Sheree reacted, and so she took it easy on her and went after Martell. If Drew had gone there and talked about how he did all of those things to her for years, it would be below the belt. You know you are guilty of not paying people. That is why you drag Ralph in it. That's low. I'm going to just leave this here for you. Didn't that con artist, halfway house living, jailbird, wow, leave you in Philly at that table looking stupid as bleep? You can't come for nobody's relationship, Sheree. You got dug out this season. Let's not forget that. Were you not humiliated on TV by a jailbird? This back and forth with you and Drew is crazy. She is eating you up. Girl, look who the bleep you date now. If he ain't stalking his ex-wife, he's with his other baby mama, getting his face, ooh, her words. So sit this talk out. Child. as I previously stated, Martell spent almost an hour on Instagram going back and forth with his ex-wife. It was disgusting. And Sheree couldn't believe that Drew was clapping back like this. So she wrote, "Who's helping you with them reads tonight, girl? You needed to hire them for the reunion." Well, I hope she brought some at the reunion. But Sheree, Drew is not really reading you like that. You are actually reading yourself by being a delusional hypocrite. And then, of course, Drew supporters in the comments responding. Like, it's not just Drew reading Sheree. Her supporters are reading Sheree as well. If you watch part 1 and part 2, you will see all of my coverage on the other segments that happened during this episode. If you missed those videos, please click the very first link and the second link in the description below to watch those videos. But while they were over there, not only did Sanya attempt to have another moment with Kenya Moore and failed miserably, Drew and Sheree thought it would be a great idea to celebrate Kenya and Milo's birthday together. Okay, and so they were supposed to take care of the decorations, the food, the arrangements, and all of that. So basically the problem that Drew had with Sheree is that she covered everything and yet Sheree didn't chip in, allegedly. So Drew basically said that she was going to send Sheree an invoice for Sheree to pay half. And basically that led to all of the tweets that we just went through. Also, Sheree saying that she spent close to or over $1 million getting She by Sheree together, and that's the reason why she's tight on money. Then get to the party and I didn't say that when Kenya brought it up. Like, girl, we have the replay. Stop lying. Let's just go from the beginning. Kenya shows up. She makes a comment about, the beast as in Milo being behind her. She goes in the house. She closed the door. Basically, I don't want no parts of her. Let her open her own door. So Kenya comes in looking stunning. Kenya's cousin was there for her. Milo friends and showed up for her. And so they're all sitting down having dinner. And all of the girls are there. They're having dinner and they surprise Kenya and Milo. Kenya is a boss. She knows how to walk in the room, do her job, and go home. She doesn't need to be Milo's friend in order to do that, okay? So this whole conversation about, we just want peace and all of that, talk to Milo about it, because Milo is the one who's desperately looking for a moment from Kenya Moore. That's that. Now, the girls are talking about peace, but in the same breath, oh yeah, let's go ahead and play a shady game to cause chaos. I'm like, yep, in true Real Housewives of Atlanta fashion, okay? I've already talked about where certain things could have gone, but once again, my point, Kenya ignored that person that was looking for a moment. Milo's friend or relative that came to the party, she's a Kenya Moore supporter because her speech was nice. It was cute. Let's move on from that. Everything ended up, being a great moment. I do want to throw some things in here. I love that Ace, is getting into acting. That moment was cute. You already know how I feel about Drew forcing her husband to adopt. Girl, if that man wants to adopt, he will. Him not putting his name on a piece of paper doesn't mean that he doesn't love your son. He's been in his life for all of these years. He's putting himself in the father's shoes. How will I feel if I'm alive and my wife and I was to get a divorce and now her new husband is trying to adopt our children? He's putting himself in that man's shoes. And as you can see on the screen, I'm posting comments from other people who also do not agree with Drew. I understand it's a storyline and all of that, but let that man genuinely adopt your son because he wants to and not because he felt or feel pressure. One last thing. Drew did not clap back at Sheree with the whole prison dig because even though she moved on and got married to Ralph, she was dealing with a man that got in trouble and spent some time in prison, and that man is the father of her son. So in as much as it's not the same because she did not try to have a romantic relationship with him, it's still a sensitive subject. So I completely understand why initially she stayed away from the man in prison jab and went with Martell. I'm over this episode, so I'm going to go ahead and move on. I'm wishing all of you well and take care. Now, loves, thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also, turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.